everyone, welcome back to more YouTube channel. It's Chris back with my rant stroke thought of the day. Surprise, surprise, a rant. And I'm talking again about the substandard quality of referees in the so-called best league in the world, the Premier League. We've seen utter disgraceful officiating this weekend, the opening weekend of the season. So it turns out all this bullshit that Howard Webb turned around and promised in the change of Mike Riley fucking off and the Dean machine disappearing up a rabbit hole and doing weird gambling adverts for some reason. I mean, my God, that guy is such a prick. But it turned out that it's not going to be better at all. It actually looks like it could be worse than it was last season. So the big decision of the weekend was Monday night. Manchester United stinking out Old Trafford, by the way, against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolves played really well, really deserved something out of the game. And just when you think fortune is smiling on you and you get that moment as Wolverhampton Wanderers, who, let's be honest with you, could have a really hard season ahead of them, could be in a relegation fight, every point that they get is massive, every single point. And if they got a point out of this opening fixture at Old Trafford against Manchester United, it could have buoyed their whole season. They could have went off on a little run. They could have got confidence from that with Gary O'Neill at the helm, and they could get themselves in a good, comfortable position. But oh no, the referee dropped his arse and bottled it yet again. So the ref's been yanked off for this weekend fixtures. That's right, I said yanked off this weekend fixtures. Steady on you lot. Easy you, as Callum Wilson would say. So it's Simon Hooper, the referee, and Michael Salisbury, who is the VAR. I just cannot get my fucking head around this at all. I really can't. As not just a football fan, but as somebody with eyes that work, you're watching this game and you see this challenge, and I just can't understand for the life of me how either one of them two has not just said stonewall penalty without even flickering. So the new Manchester United goalkeeper, Andre Onana, comes flying out into, is it Sasa Kalasic, I think, for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Absolutely fucking wipes him out. There's not even an attempt to get the ball. It looks like one of them WWF moves, Jeff Hardy from the top rope, swanton bomb, just smashing into the player completely. And what's crazy about this is the referee is looking right at this. He's got a great view of it. He doesn't give a penalty straight away, which I cannot understand for the life of me. So you think, right, has he missed it? Has somebody been in the way of his view or something like that? Another player, and you maybe understand, okay, that's why he's not giving it. But then they go to the VAR and you think, well, it's got to be a penalty after that. I mean, everybody can see it. You could see it in real time, but certainly when you slow it down, it looks like fucking ABH when you slow it down. And Michael Salisbury doesn't give the penalty either. And you think, what the fuck is going on here? You know, you guys are supposed to be professional officials in the best league in the world, being paid to officiate, and you're absolutely horrendous. You're substandard. We had Keith Hackett on the show a while back there. It was brilliant talking to Keith, and he said, quite frankly, the standard of officiating in the Premier League is nowhere near good enough. And that last night for Manchester United and Wolves proved that without a shadow of a doubt. These referees are nowhere near the standard good enough to referee in the Premier League. Now, I don't know whether Hooper bottled it or whether Salisbury bottled it, or they both bottled it. But my theory is that these referees are so shit scared to give a big decision at a ground like Old Trafford for the crowd to turn on them, for the Man United players to turn on them, for the media to turn on them, that they just bottle it and they just let it ride. And it's a big club syndrome versus the little club syndrome, and they fuck them over. It happened to Newcastle time and time again. Was it last season? So many decisions, you know, Longstaff getting pulled, like Wilson's high foot against Brighton, loads of decisions. Was it Willock getting shoved into the box against Crystal Palace? All these like stonewall decisions that should be spotted by the ref in the first instance, and then certainly by the VAR in the second, all missed and bottled. These referees have got no balls, no backbone whatsoever. Stop being scared of these big clubs and these managers like Ten Hag and Jurgen Klopp and all these other shithouses. Grow a pair of nuts and make a fucking decision for once in your life. What's going to happen? You're going to get pulled away from the fixtures next week, and everyone's going to think you're a shit referee. That's what's going to happen. I cannot understand how this has not been given. And you know what makes matters worse as well? Gary O'Neill is obviously fucking apoplectic on the sideline that this has not gone in his favour. And the ref comes over and he thought the ref was coming to look at the screen, and the referee books Gary O'Neill. And in Gary O'Neill's own words, which I loved, he books me and not Onana for taking our player's head off, which is completely right. You know, apparently they've turned around, and I think is it Jonathan Moss, who works for Howard Webb, He's come out and apologised now, and that's where they've removed the officials from this weekend's fixtures, saying that it was a penalty and it was a clear and obvious error. Well, that's wonderful. That is, Moss, but apologies don't equal points, and you've screwed Wolves out of a point at Old Trafford against a really shit Manchester United team, it must be said. Mason Mount, great signing that, guys. What did I say? Harvey Barnes have a better season than Mason Mount? I think I've been proven right in one game. It's a long season, but I'm pretty sure that is going to be the case come the end of the season. But that's a digression. This whole episode was utterly disgusting from the Premier League officials. And how can we, as Premier League fans, Premier League clubs, managers, everyone alike, how can we have any confidence in the quality of these officials when they're missing a clear decision like that anybody could see? It's utterly disgraceful. I don't know what on earth they're going to come out and do or say to try and restore confidence in the rest of the league, but they've got a long way to go. I watched the VT that they did with Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher. Howard Webb talking about all these wonderful new things that they've got. Neville challenged them on the ridiculous time-wasting rule, which I think is utter bullshit, and he come up with some proper political pivot spin on that as well. The truth of the matter is, Howard Webb hasn't got any closer a clue than Mike Riley did before him. The officials are an absolute joke in this country, and for the rest of the season, myself, every other fan-led media channel, we will be talking about how shit these officials have been and what major decisions they've fucked up that's cost teams wins, kept them in the league, cost them a title, possibly cost them a European place. You know, the game is in their hands in many ways. We rely on them to enforce the game, and they're letting it run out of control. They need to be much better than they are. Utterly disgraceful. That's me done for this rant today. If this is the kind of thing you guys like, smash that like button, subscribe if you want. We've got loads of Newcastle United content, obviously the occasional rant like this, which covers all of football. Certainly Newcastle and every single club in the league, I think it covers this, because shit refereeing will cost us all, believe you me. So if you like that kind of thing, like the video, subscribe. Coming around a bit longer, we're close to 5k subs now. Once we get there, we're going to do a really good prize draw, giving away the signed photograph of Alan Shearer's last competitive goal. Great prize for any football memorabilia collection. So this is me done. Have a cracking day wherever you are, guys, and sort yourselves out, referees, will you? You need to be better than this. Catch you later, everyone. Cheers, bye bye.